What up, gang? What up, fish gang? What up, sleepy gang, especially. So, let's whisper a bit more. Okay, so it's Linkuru here, and I've been thinking about doing a lot more ASMR content lately, because I was thinking to myself, like, doing Rocket League content is tough, right? Like, you always have to come up with some new original ideas and constantly pump out new content on my main channel. But then I realized, like, if I just made, I don't know, 3 or 4 ASMR videos a week, just no editing, just purely sitting there for like 20 to 40 minutes and recording and putting it onto this channel, that's like easy content, right? And you guys would probably enjoy it. I get a lot of questions from people asking when my next ASMR upload is coming, and I definitely really do be needing to do that, so here I am. And something that just spontaneously came to my mind just now is that I've gotten a lot of comments asking me to explain what my car decal is, or what my preset is, because a lot of people seem to like how it looks, and I think it's pretty special myself. I mean, my car is pretty interesting, to be fair. So, you know, so Graceful Banana says, tell us your car preset stuff. Graceful Banana. That's a good word. I should do like a trigger words video or something and just say Graceful Banana for 30 minutes, you know. Top tier content right there. Can you make a video about your car preset, like your colors, etc.? Says Ricardo Slot. Okay, can anyone please tell me what Link's preset is? JFC says. And then what else? Dude, your Interstellar presets are clean, says Brandon Wright. Thank you, man, appreciate it. I responded with, I know, 'cause I know. Yeah, so I've gotten a bunch of comments like that. So what I'm gonna do today actually is show you exactly what that preset is, and yeah, get back into the groove of this. Fun fact, my ASMR Rocket League controller sounds GC2v2 video has 57,000 views at the moment of recording this. Like, that's pretty cool, honestly. Like, sometimes getting that many views on my main channel can be an achievement in itself, because sometimes, oh, what the heck just happened? Your Steam friends can automatically be added as epic friends over partying up. Note that you can just, okay. I don't know why that's like the 3rd time I've seen that text box, and I always say add. Anyway, so this is the car, obviously, that, you know, if you watch my videos on my main channel, you know that I've recently stuck to using this same preset pretty much in every video. There will be a couple exceptions here and there where I'm using a different decal. Perhaps when I want to use custom decals that I design myself in Photoshop, or, you know, if the video needs some kind of different car for the purpose of the recording. But for the most part, I'll be using this car in every video. And, you know, I think if you're a fan of very colorful, bright stuff, sort of poppy in your face, poppy, I think you can really enjoy this kind of decal. Me personally, I think it's super awesome. I just, you know, it's hard to explain what I think if you've seen my logo, obviously it's very bright and colorful as well. You know, it has the pink, the light blue, yellow, and red. So kind of the idea with this decal was, or not the decal, but the preset, was to emulate my logo and my branding a little bit. So if we switch to the other car, the other team, it looks like this. One thing is that I don't consider this preset necessarily finished. I think what I want is a pink Interstellar. So with the orange team, just to, okay, actually let's go through all the items that this car uses, or this preset. So, to begin with, obviously a pink octane. You know, anyone with a pair of functioning eyes will know that this is a pink octane. Yeah, so that's obvious. It's the same on the both sides. So then we move on to the decal, and obviously we're using the Interstellar, which is, I think, one of the coolest decals in the games, without a doubt. I mean, it's just like this cool ass, you know, galaxy kind of smoke. If you've ever seen like illustrations of what things look like in space, then this would be a very, very good, you know, representation of what space looks like. If we're looking into some kind of like space dust particles and stuff like that, and galaxies. So it has these cute little like stars that are animated and going downwards, which I can really appreciate. And there's a couple sets of clouds flying everywhere, and then at certain parts of the decal, the clouds, the like base color clouds, in this case yellow, they're brighter at certain points and darker at other points, and I think it creates this super cool contrast, and I absolutely love it. It looks almost golden, and it's just very satisfying to me. You know, it's kind of like puffy clouds, but at the same time it's very bright and sort of aggressive in a way, but not too aggressive, because it is clouds at the end of the day. But yeah, so basically what happens is, if we go to the colors, so the main color is row number 2, column 4. You know, obviously this, in my opinion, does not look nearly as good, and, you know, if we go one higher, it's kind of more washed out. It doesn't look as colorful and poppy as the one I'm using. If we go one down, it's a little bit too dark and a little too contrasted, in my opinion. And if we go to the right, it's way too orange for my personal opinion, or personal taste. Obviously, you know, if you want to kind of like copy the style of what I've gone for, go for it. You can pick any color you like. This is just what I personally like. I think, you know, whenever I was designing this car, I had no idea what I was gonna do. I had no ideas yet. I just knew that I kind of wanted to have a signature car, kind of like how Mertzi and Musty, they both kind of have this car that they use in every video, and people always recognize them from those cars. You know, you see it in their thumbnails and stuff. So I really wanted to have that same thing in my channel. I wanted to have a car that people recognize me for, something that stands out. And while I think Musty and Mertzi's cars are pretty cool, I think for me, I wanted something that really reflected my branding and my style. So I really wanted to include the color pink, and then I thought, okay, using my logo colors would make sense, right? And yeah, this combo, I think this is one of the most brash and like aggressively like crazy looking cars I've seen in Rocket League, which I'm kind of proud of. You know, it's so out there, you know. This car could light up, you know, the ocean at night. It could be a goddamn lighthouse. Anyway, so as I was explaining earlier, so this is the main color. The secondary color for me is, you know, I don't know what column this would be. I mean, it's column number 2, but what row? You know, it's the second to last row. If we went one up, it would be not bright enough. If we go one right, it would be too reddish. If we go one down, it's just too bright, or like too saturated. Left is too purple, I think. I kind of like this more candy pink kind of thing. yeah, and so obviously because well, so the secondary color seems to affect the color of this like main big cloud that's on top of the car. And I think it has this weird like flickering thing going on with it. If you like look at it for a minute, I mean you can see it's clearly like flickering. Whereas if you look at the blue parts or the yellow parts, none of that stuff is really flickering. At least not too much. In certain parts you can kinda see it a little bit. But yeah, so I love how it covers like, I don't know, about like 30% of the car. It gives a good, nice like section. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you know, it's nice to have that big splotch on the car, completely covered in pink. But so the secondary, or rather the painted color of the decal Interstellar, so it is sky blue, and it affects these small little clouds, as you can see, all around the car. A little bit on the spoiler too, on the back, in the middle, on the front. So I think it's just perfect, you know. It gives this nice little accent or extra spice. You know, if this wasn't painted, I think it would look a little bit more boring. Having that little blue in there gives it that little edge, and I love it. It's like, you know, it's like putting a little bit of chili into your cooking just to spice it up a bit. Yep. Alright. Now on the other side, so this, like I think I was about to say earlier that I don't consider it finished. I think what I need is a pink painted Interstellar to finish up the blue side, because right now it's lacking that spice that I just mentioned, because the color is already blue. You know, it's row number 4, column number 4. It just, you know, the sky blue painted just sinks and emerges or submerges into the blue of the car, the primary color. So I'm not a big fan of that. I think if we use Bacchus mod here, I can probably show you what it would look like with the way that yeah, there we go. So the way I envisioned it, so this is simply changing the Interstellar to a pink painted version, and this is what it would look like. And I think this is already an improvement. I think if this is what I had, I would be pretty just, you know, content with it. I'd be very happy with it. So, you know what? If anyone out there watching this video right now has a pink Interstellar and doesn't necessarily need it, please let me know, because I am super willing to buy it from you. I really want that decal. Like, without it, it just looks too boring. I hate this. I really don't like it that much. But I do like the red, the secondary color red, that is on the final row, column number 3. And yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be like the red in my logo, and the blue is supposed to be like the blue in my logo, the pink and the, you know, you get what I'm saying. So I think it looks nice overall. If it just had the pink Interstellar, it would be perfect. I always prefer the orange color version way more. I think the blue one is cool, but this one is just superior in every way possible. So I tend to prefer using this for like thumbnails or any kind of stuff that I'd use it for. Let's move on to the wheels. So we obviously got the Hypnotic wheels, but of course they are painted pink. And you know, I think people have very varying opinions about these wheels. I think a lot of people think that they're way too brash and way too just like, I don't know, maybe too perhaps childlike, or like maybe too crazy, you know. Like people tend to appreciate more of like basic looking wheels, kind of like the Cristianos, are super, you know, bland. Wheels that don't really stick out too much is what people tend to like, unless, you know, I don't know. But for me, I think it really fits the style of the car in general. It has sort of like a little bit of a cartoonish, like, soft and low quality feel to it, if that makes sense. Not low quality. I think that's a bad way to describe it. I think what I'm trying to say is that it's not super high detail, like a cartoon would be. You know, if you're comparing a cartoon to some sort of like a high detail drawing, you can see the difference. Like, cartoons are usually very, like, it doesn't consist of much high and small detail, right? It's generally kind of like a bit blocky, like, not blocky, but like sort of less defined, I guess I could say. Of course, the edge of the wheels is kind of much more detailed because it has that interesting, like, almost like an overgrowth, as if like the pink started to grow roots into the wheels or the tire, which I think is a super cool design actually. I also like how the wheels kind of look broken. I don't know, there's like a lot of scratches to it and stuff like that, which I'm a huge fan. I mean, it kind of goes against, you know, the low detail I was just speaking about, but I actually really don't mind it. If you think about, like, this is a super random thing to bring up, but if you've ever seen like the outro end screen of my videos on my main channel, you see like the wooden style. That's completely drawn by me, and you can also see it in my streams on Twitch. I have a scene where you can see that same style. So that is something that I've completely designed by myself in Photoshop, and it's 100% inspired by Borderlands, one of my favorite like graphic styles from video games. And I think with this car preset, it's not really directly taking any influence from that, but I think sort of the brokenness and like the scratches and the sort of, I don't know, sort of destroyed style of the tires is really cool and kind of matches with the Borderlands style, because Borderlands is very what's the word, like post what's the event when, like, when things go bad, like the world ends, and then what is the period called after the world has ended? It's like post something. I can't think of it right now, but I'll get back with it if I remember. But yeah, it has this sort of like eroded and broken and like wear and tear kind of look to it, which I really like. And the side of it has this almost like icing on the edge, and I absolutely just love everything about these wheels. They just, in my opinion, really fit the sort of candy, you know, almost like you want to bite into it, you know? Like, if I could bite into this car, I totally would. It looks like food. I want to eat this. Anyway, it does have show-off certification, which is actually funny because it records backwards goals. And the reason why it's funny is because I've only gotten 2 backwards goals with it. And I've been using these wheels for a pretty long time. So clearly I don't do a lot of backwards goals. But yeah, anyway. As the boost, I am just using the standard pink. Nothing special. I think I'm gonna stick with it. The thing is, I was looking through a lot of pink boosts and trying to figure out if there was anything that would look good. And at the end, I just decided that I think everything else kind of looked a little bit too crazy. I know that sounds strange because everything else on this car is already crazy, but if you think about the clouds on the decal, I think this boost actually looks the most similar to the clouds in the decal compared to any other boosts that I could find. You know, I could have used something like, I don't know, maybe like this, but then, I don't know, I don't think this fits at all. You know, this is not exactly the right color, it's more of a purple. This boost is just a bit too crazy, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I couldn't figure out anything. This one actually I tried for a little bit, but I ended up deciding that it wasn't really a good match. I didn't really like the animation of the rocks forming in front of the motor. It just didn't really, I don't know, I just didn't like it that much. So yeah, standard boost in my opinion fits best with the setup we got going here. Obviously no toppers, no antennas. I actually was using the Pinata antenna for a while because it kind of has like the logo style that I have, like the stripes. Of course it has a purple color, which is not really what I have in my logo, but it was kind of close enough. I think the main reason why I stopped using it was because I didn't like how it would be in my thumbnails. Like every time I design a thumbnail, I just end up deciding that the antenna was kind of in the way, and it was just, I don't know, it was just too, it was extra. It didn't really look good in the thumbnail. It was really bothering me for some reason. It just got in the way. So I decided to remove it for that reason. And I actually, like, I was going to keep using it and eventually start, like, turning it into some sort of a, like, my channel's kind of, like, inside joke or, like, YouTube channel mascot. So, like, you know, I was gonna make it into a thing where, like, we would give it a name and then everyone in the comments would always talk about him, and, like, I don't know, it would have just been a funny bit for videos, funny joke. But, I mean, who knows, maybe I'll bring that back, but for now, I'm not using any antennas. Maybe I'll keep him for this video, you know? Let's let our friend here, stay for this video. And if you have any ideas of what we could call him, then leave some suggestions in the comments. Give some cute nicknames or just normal names or whatever you want to think of. So the last but not least, well, technically not the last, but I think this is one of the most important things here, is the Sky Blue Floppy Fish Goal Explosion. I absolutely love this thing. Like, it's just funny. Like, who doesn't like fish? You know? Like, every time I score, an army of fish just spawns out of the goal and starts flopping on the ground. Like, it's just hilarious. I love it. It's just like, it's fun, it's lighthearted, you know? It doesn't make too much of an effect. It's kinda simple and basic, so I love it. And just sky blue because I think it fits, you know, the coloring of my preset overall. So apparently I'm using the Season 4 Champion trail for this, and I think I'm going to keep using them. I don't really see any reason to change. I don't really even have anything that would fit better. This might fit, like, coloring wise, but the animation is a little bit weird. Like, if you see the white circles, they kind of like pop in and out, and it just looks strange to me. Not a big fan. There's this trail, but I don't really like it that much. I do like gems and like diamonds and stuff like that, so the idea in that sense kind of appeals to me, but I just don't think it fits the actual overall style. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of options, but yeah, I don't know. This color is off. It's too saturated. There's not much more I could go with. So Season 4 Champion Trail it is. Clearly the superior. Obviously, if you have not played in Season 4, it's going to be very hard for you to get your hands on this. You know, obviously this is a limited trail, so it is not tradable. So in case you are trying to replicate my preset, I would recommend just get something that's pink or whatever you like. You know, at the end of the day, the trail is not really that big of a part of this preset anyway, so just choose whatever you prefer. And I'm currently just using the default Octane sound. I've actually been thinking about maybe going through these sounds at some point and seeing if maybe I like another sound better. But yeah, right now I'm using the default one. And yeah, that's it. That's my car preset. I have clenched your thirst of needing to know what what my preset was. I hope that satisfies you. I'm assuming this probably looks about equally as good on any other car. I don't really have a lot of pink painted cars, so... But, you know, honestly, I think even though this car isn't painted, I think it still looks cool. It doesn't necessarily have to be painted. I think even this white painted titanium white Dominus looks pretty good. The Harbinger, I think this looks cool as well. The Merc, I mean, I'm just telling you, literally any car looks good with this preset. In a weird way, I almost kind of prefer this one over the pink one. I mean, I don't think I really do, but there's something really appealing about the mix of the black color or the dark gray because, you know, the tires, the windows, the engine and all that stuff is gray, so it kind of matches with all of that stuff. You know, the inside of the wheels has like a black background as well, of course. So it kind of works, I guess. But I think having the pink Octane makes it stand out a little bit more. So yeah, this is a bit more controlled and tame, I guess. What other cars could we use this on? I'll just show you a bunch of different cars and what it would look like. I mean, you can already oh shit, yeah, I like this car a lot. I always thought it was cool that this game has like an F1 car, basically. Like, it feels kind of like out of place, but at the same time it's so cool. Artemis. I've been thinking about doing some sort of a video on my main channel about like playing with all the cars in the game or something like that. I think OSM is doing a video like that or something, but I don't know, we might as well, because why not? We'll see, I don't know, give me suggestions in the comments. I don't know what to do, like what would the premise of the video be? I wouldn't want to just title it like playing with every car, but maybe do something a bit more special with it. Maybe like modding a decal for every car in the game. I mean, that would probably take way too much time out of my life, you know? Alright, this car is actually way cooler than I remembered. Like, this one. This is pretty badass, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I don't know, it's still cool. Dominus. Everyone loves a Dominus. Honestly, this is one of the best looking cars in the game, easily. And it's one of the earliest models in the game too, which is crazy. Endo looks a bit strange. It's like, don't take this in any offensive way, but it's kind of like a Lamborghini with Down syndrome, you know? No disrespect to any of my Down syndrome homies. I love and respect you. Anyway, and Esper. Esper is so weird. Like, this is the weirdest looking car in the game, easily. Like, this beats Scarab in my opinion. It like doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of Rocket League, you know? It's so strange. But it's not bad, you know? I actually used to love this car a lot. I do like the shape of it a lot. I really do. I think this is kind of an underrated car for sure. This one I've made a decal for before. Gizmo. Oh, Grog, the legend. Absolute legend in this game, dude. Guardian. Oh, I forgot Guardian has different styles too. Do I have a pink one? I interesting. It's pretty interesting. I think Hotshot, no offense, I think it's one of the ugliest looking cars in Rocket League. Not only that, it actually physically doesn't make any sense because look at the cockpit of the car. Imagine if there was a person sitting inside this car looking outside of that window. They would not see forward because this goddamn, like the hood of the car would just be blocking your vision. So it doesn't really make any sense. I think this is, I don't know, there's just way too much going on. Like the front of the car is so busy with detail, and the details don't necessarily, I don't know, they don't necessarily make too much sense. The side of the car is super detailed too, and I don't know, I just think that elements of the design don't really go well together, and they don't really have a good flow. It doesn't really have a good consistency, and you know, it just almost feels like the designer just tried to do a bunch of random stuff with it to see how it would look, and it's not horrible. I mean, this car actually used to look a bit different until they updated the design. I'm gonna put on screen the old version of this car if I can find it. Actually, never mind, I won't. I don't wanna I don't wanna bother editing this too much, because I already have to put a little bit of editing at the beginning and put some background cinematics because it was just showing the like desktop screen basically. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of an ugly car, but it is what it is. I actually love the design of this car. It just feels horrible to play with, so I never use it. Okay guys, I think I am done currently showing you the cars. Not much else to show really. Yeah, so basically that was my car preset. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go into a little bit of training. If you want to, let's go in a dark map because it's ASMR video, and you know, you guys want to go to bed maybe, possibly, unless you, I don't know, do you guys ever watch ASMR videos while you're just like sitting on your computer or on your phone and watch, like, I don't know, doing something like when I'm just chatting on Discord, or like, I don't know, like doing Photoshop or editing a video, or like going, like just surfing the internet, Twitter, or whatever the hell I would be doing during my day. I often just listen to ASMR in the background. So I'm curious if you guys do that, or if you just watch it while you sleep. I actually go to sleep to ASMR pretty much every single night. In a weird way, I feel like I'm a little bit dependent on it, because sometimes when I don't listen to ASMR when I'm going to bed, I feel like I kind of get a little bit anxious, or I guess I focus a little bit too much on my thoughts, because I tend to have a pretty busy brain. Like I'm always thinking about stuff, and I'm a big overthinker, I'm a big anxious person, so I tend to overload my brain with thoughts. So that happens when I'm like in bed without ASMR. And yeah. So yeah, obviously I'm not making ASMR content just to like cash in on an easy market or something. In fact, I currently don't even have monetization on this channel, so I have not made a single penny during the like 1 or 2 years that this channel has existed. So right now I'm just doing it for fun. I think I might enable monetization if I start uploading more often here, but it's not really ever gonna make a lot of money for me. It's just mostly just for fun, and because I appreciate ASMR. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of like an experimental thing for me, I guess. Because for me, like, I feel, okay, I keep rambling, but that's what I'm best at. I'm absolutely amazing at rambling, so I think ASMR is like meant for me. This is my soul calling. But anyway, like with my main channel, I feel super anxious and like I feel like I have this responsibility to deliver perfection every time I upload. You know, when it comes to like how I title the video, how I design the thumbnail, and what the actual editing and the content of the video is and stuff like that. I like to take that stuff super seriously on my main channel. So sometimes I feel like I'm too scared to like experiment and try new things. So I tend to be stuck with the old format of things, of how I've always been doing everything. So I don't get a chance to experiment on my main channel. And that's why I enjoy making videos on my second channel and this ASMR channel, because this gives me the opportunity to not really care too much about what I put out on these channels, because it's not my livelihood. This is not my job, you know. My main channel is my job. There I have to ensure that everything I do is, you know, not somehow, you know, killing my channel or, you know, slowing down my growth or something like that. But on these two channels, it's like I can experiment, I can try different styles of thumbnails, I can try different styles of titles and different format of content, different structuring. Like I can try anything I'd like and not have to worry about the outcome. So that's why I love doing this channel. And yeah. Also, I wanted to point out, so obviously in free play, the primary color and the secondary color of your card turn into, I believe, I don't actually know, does it just turn into like white and gray or something like that? But I actually think it looks super sick on this preset. Like, if I could make my primary and secondary color like this, even in-game, then I would totally do it. I think it looks super, super sick. Like, I love the contrast of the really colorful, bright colors like the sky blue and the pink, contrasted with like the white and the gray. I think it looks super awesome. So technically I can do this with Bacchus mod. So for example, I think if I do override colors, secondary color, let's do like, this is currently switching the other team, I think. Let's do something like that. So let's switch the team. Okay, I think that's reversed actually. Let's do, primary needs to be like this, and then secondary just, maybe not the whitest white, but something a little bit darker. I think the primary is too dark. I mean, something like this, you know? Hold up. It's actually, it's bugging out a little bit. Let's do orange team, override color colors. So let's do it just like we did it there. I don't know why it's making this, like, I want the sky blue. Where's my sky blue? I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on here, but I think it looks pretty cool. So I could use this, but the main reason I don't use this Bacchus mod fiddling, because I just feel like it, because if you don't use Bacchus mod, you won't really be able to replicate that. And so I've decided to stay away from it. But yeah, I think that is it for the video. I've actually been recording way longer than I initially intended. This was supposed to be like a 20-minute video, but it's actually like 14 minutes. But actually, you know, that's not a bad thing at all. I think the longer the video, the higher chance that you guys are gonna fall asleep to listening to this. So no problem. It's only a good thing. It just means that, you know, rendering this video out is gonna require some extra time. You know, rendering a 40-minute piece like this might take me like probably like easily over an hour, possibly like an hour and 30 minutes or something like that, which is not even that bad. But yeah, okay. Thank you guys for watching. This was my car preset. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, go ahead and take inspiration or completely copy the car if you would like. I think you know, it's kind of cute how you see a lot of people using like Musty's car in ranked and stuff like that, and I would absolutely love it if one day I play a ranked game and then one of my teammates or opponents has my car preset, and yeah, that would just be so wholesome and fun to see. So far, I have not encountered anyone using my preset, so yeah, that's that. I'd love to see you guys use this. Also, another thing I want to ask you guys before I end this video is, I've been thinking about doing some sort of a video about my car preset. I just haven't really come up with any kind of like interesting or viral video idea for that. Like, I don't know, like, I don't want to title the video something like using my own car preset or something like that, because that wouldn't really attract viewers. And so I'm trying to think of ideas that are interesting that I can incorporate my preset into. But yeah, you know, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments and I'll be thinking about it. But yeah, I hope you guys, you know, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, go to sleep, dumbass. You need some sleep, you need some rest, and Link Crew is here to provide you any day of the week, any hour of the day, all your sleeping needs. So subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna push out a lot more Rocket League ASMR, because I feel like, you know, this kind of makes sense. I'll probably do more Minecraft ASMR too, but yeah. I'll see you guys another time. It's Linkuru, and Urukuru is out. Peace.